Welcome to Wednesday Night Live from the Basement. Here's your hosts, Rob, Daryl, and Joe.
Hello, Internet. It's Wednesday. I'm Rob. That's Joe. That's Daryl. And our special guest, Brian. Welcome, gentlemen.
Hello.
Good evening, sirs.
How's everybody doing? Other than Daryl. Daryl's sick as a dog, so if he passes out, people, he'll come back.
I'm getting better. It was a bit of a rough day today for sure. Rougher yesterday and rougher the day before.
Yeah. Are you on the mend now, though?
I'm on the mend, yeah.
Improving? Well, that's good.
What are you drinking? Is that eggnog-ish or what is that?
This is a hot cocoa because I don't drink coffee, and I felt like I needed a warm beverage after coming in from shoveling. So,
fair enough. Fair enough. Daryl, what have you got? I've got my normal tea this evening. You got some?
I have just got a bottle of water tonight.
Yeah, it's just water tonight. Yeah.
I also have water in this attractive Northern Revolution's tumbler.
Are those available somewhere? Can you get those or?
I've often thought about doing it. Not at the moment. There is only one, but it probably could be a thing if people wanted it to be a thing.
Sure. Why not? Right?
Yes. Chris Mann, welcome. Trevor, howdy, or howdy, I guess. Howdy. What do we want to talk about, fellas? I mean, here in Ontario, we're getting a shit ton of snow. How about you, Joe?
We're getting a little bit tonight. We haven't gotten much yet. I've shoveled a couple of times, but that's been about it. It's not been that bad so far, and it's supposed to get pretty lousy cold though this weekend, like minus 30s without the wind, etc. So yeah, not looking forward to that. But I got nothing planned for outside this weekend anyway, so it doesn't really matter if it gets a little colder. That's okay.
Tim says they're getting pounded in Ottawa, so and Trevor's getting floods out on the coast. So Brian probably
we are
doesn't
not getting snow in the north. We're just getting cold up here.
You're just getting cold. You probably don't have much snow in the middle of the city, do you, Brian? A bit of an urban heat island?
Yeah, there's a little bit. Like I had to scrape the car off when I went out earlier today. Like maybe an inch at most.
Yeah.
Not much.
It amazes me because I drive into my offices in Mississauga and 45 minutes. I go from here where we have 8 inches, a foot. By the time I get to the office, there's an inch on the ground.
Yeah.
God damn it. I want just that inch here. Nothing else.
That's right.
It's not always the case, though. Sometimes we do get a lot, but so far this year, not bad.
Yeah, there's probably those occasional times where it's like way, way, way too much. And then where do you put it and everything else? I would imagine. Maybe not. I don't know. But
it's true.
I had the pleasant experience in my first year of university going from Windsor. That's where I went to school. It was +3 and raining on December 21st. I took the 27-hour bus ride to Dryden, Ontario, and it was -40 when I got there.
Ooh.
What do you do for 27 hours on a bus?
Drink, I think. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
Like, did it stop at all anywhere?
Yeah, so I actually had to transfer in Toronto, transfer in Sudbury, transfer in Sault Ste. Marie, and transfer in Thunder Bay.
Oh, Jesus. So you got like a different person beside you each time, or we're
it was back in the good old Greyhound bus days.
Oh my God. How much did that cost? Do you remember how much that cost?
It was cheaper than a flight because I would have had to have flown to Winnipeg to meet my parents. So a couple $100 maybe.
Yeah.
For 27 hours. That's a pretty good hourly rate.
Yeah.
That's not bad, actually. That's pretty good. So
that just sounds like hell, though. I mean, man.
I think the biggest hell for me was when I got off the bus to make the transfer in Sudbury. I went from +3 in Windsor to -30 in Sudbury in less than 8 hours because it wasn't that long of a bus ride. Maybe 8 hours.
See, if you were to do it again today, what you could do is you could get every Gordon Lightfoot album and start at the beginning and just have it play all the way through as you make the trip, right from first song all the way. That and then it would be okay, right? Because there'd be something you'd be looking forward to. Oh man, I'm looking forward to the next album, and then who knows? Maybe you drive by something that Gord's talking about.
That's
maybe.
Not that you're probably going to do another 27-hour bus trip in the next while. So,
Ryan said he had to bring out the plow today because in Caledon Hills they got rocked. Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, we're right on that we're on the edge of a snow band where either we get it or we don't. And just north of where I am, Brian's hometown, it's substantially more snow than we do. So
It certainly does. Yeah.
yeah, but
Fun
snow. Fun stuff.
Yeah, you know what? I don't need any snow. I don't need a white Christmas. I don't need any of that. But yet here it is. So if I didn't live in Saskatchewan, it might not happen, but it always does. Every winter the snow comes, and every winter I bitch about it now as I've gotten older.
So last week after our stream, if you recall, I was saying the very next morning I was getting on a flight to go to Montreal for business.
Right.
And it was really cold there, like minus 20. We're talking Celsius to anyone in America that might be watching. It was bitter cold, but not a ton of snow, like maybe an inch or two. And I took a little bit of pleasure in that one of my colleagues that was meeting me there for the meeting, was from Los Angeles.
Yeah.
I warned him ahead of time. He's a bald guy like me. I said, bring a toque, bring a warm jacket. And he goes, what's a toque? Because he's American. And the first thing he said to me when I met him in the lobby for dinner, he goes, this is inhumane. I go, welcome to Canada, my friend. We brought out the best for you.
Yeah, just wait till it gets cold.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, it gets cold. Yeah.
Speaking of Los Angeles, love or hate Ryan Reynolds, and I don't know how many people hate him, but he always comes up with some fantastic stuff. And I know you posted it, so you've seen it. It's so good. If you haven't seen it, for those that don't know, obviously there was the Jays and the Dodgers and the battle, but one of the main guys from the Dodgers, Freddie Freeman, is a Canadian, but he plays for the Dodgers. So Ryan Reynolds, they're raising money for sick kids in Toronto. I think it's in
Correct.
Toronto.
The hospital,
right?
yeah.
So every year they do these promo ads. Anyway, just go and seek out the latest Ryan Reynolds sick kids promo ad. It's fantastic. It's well done.
Awesome.
And good on Freddie as well. So
yes,
yeah,
yes, it's a great ad. I loved it.
Yeah,
I loved it. Do we have anything music related to talk about?
Sure do. I want to get this kicked off right.
Oh,
You'll
okay.
notice my wardrobe right here. I need to pump this up because Chris Mann's been getting on my case about this, but I've been too sick to actually listen to it. So it's still wrapped in the shrink.
Oh God!
I knew it was there.
I was thinking,
why did I full screen you for that?
I was thinking to get this show started off correctly.
Oh, he's even going to rip it for you. There you go.
Rip it.
Unwrap it and check it out. What this new purchase of mine is, I don't know what it could be.
What you should do is keep the shrink wrap and throw out the record.
It's harsh. It's harsh.
I know.
There we go. A boring innard, but it's got all the good stuff on it. See? I think it's just the black vinyl. Yeah, just black. But yeah, they got their own label there. So anyway, thought I'd kick this off the correct way with some Nickelback. I don't know what your thoughts are, Rob.
I don't think he has many.
If you enjoy it, Daryl, that's all I care about.
There you go.
Brian's tuning all the way from Tokyo. How you doing, my friend? Welcome.
Hello.
Ryan wants to know, does that say volume 2? God, I hope there's not enough for 2 volumes.
No, this one is volume 1.
Oh shit, that means there is more than one.
That means there will be a volume 2. That's right. Exactly. So
Richard, welcome.
Richard.
Welcome.
Richard.
I don't have anything else music related to talk about. I haven't bought any records. I don't have anything new to show. So
I got some stuff that I'll talk about when the album, because I'm using one of the albums that I'll talk about a little bit later on. So I guess I can mention Toque. I know I wear this a lot, but the band Toque has made up some hot sauce. They've also done a collaboration with a local beer distiller as well. So there's Toque beer, but there's Toque hot sauce. And On a Vinyl and On AV are going to be the official supplier of Toque hot sauce in Regina. So they'll also have some at the show when they come on December 27th. But so speaking
of Toque, this is Toque related news. Did you hear that Triumph's going out on the road to play some dates.
That's what was going to come up later. Yeah.
Well, why don't we talk about it then? I'm excited about it because one of my favorite guitar players and a former member of Triumph, Phil X from Bon Jovi, he's joining the band for the tour. And what's the Toot connection there?
Yeah, so Triumph, there was always three for that don't know. Gil, Rick, and what's the other one?
I don't know. The other guy.
I can't remember the other guy. That's not fair. Anyway, they're up there. They've been around for a while, and they have brought in the two guys from Took. So Todd Kearns, who's also back from Age of Electric, and Slash Kennedy and Miles and the Conspirators. They're the Conspirators, and Brent Fitz is going to play the drums as well. So Phil and Brent and Todd are going to be on all the shows. And then I think Rick and Gil are going to be at most of the shows. There's been a whole bunch of different confusion as to what exactly is really going on. But I think that they have realized themselves that they're not going to give everybody the show that they want to give them. So they're enhancing themselves with these other guys. And Todd will probably sing, and Todd can sing just about everything. So I think it should be really good, and it's going to be a good stage show. Triumph always had good stage shows. I really like them, but they are not playing Saskatchewan. So I don't know where I'm going to go to yet, but I'll figure it out somewhere. It just pisses me off. They pick either Saskatoon or Regina. If it's Saskatoon, it's Saskatoon. That's cool. But you got to play one in Saskatchewan, because they're in Winnipeg, Edmonton, Calgary, Sault Ste. Marie, Toronto, but they're not playing Vancouver either. So who knows? They might rush it and put some other dates on later. But yeah, so I'm excited. I think it'll be good. It won't be from back in the day, and people are bitching, well, these guys aren't in Triumph. Well, yeah, Phil was. Yeah. And you know what? If you want it to be a better show, you as soon as you see Todd and Fitz, they just fit in anyway. They'll be fine. Absolutely. So yeah, so it'll be really, really good. I'm looking forward to it. I just don't know where I'm going to go and see it yet. But
just a couple comments here, Brian. Thank you for the kind shout out in your last video, Brian. There's a letter in the mail for me, Daryl. If you shoot Brian from Tokyo Record Style a message, he's going to send you a little something.
Sure.
Joe, I think I sent you one a week ago. If it hasn't arrived, it will arrive soon. So
it hasn't as of yet, but thankfully Canada Post is
slow.
Is working kind of. So yeah, so hopefully
sort of.
Yes, it is too hot to handle. It's actually got Saskatoon berry in it, so it's Saskatoon berry based hot sauce, which is kind of cool. But yet anyway, so yeah, it'll be good. So
well, our topic is the 12 days of Christmas, because it's getting close to Christmas. It's not 12 days till Christmas, but close enough. So we're gonna go with it. I don't know whether it was Daryl or Joe that cooked up this idea, and it took them a long time to explain it to me because my brain was just elsewhere, work stuff. I'm like, I don't understand what we're doing. So, gentlemen, jump in and correct me if I'm wrong. So there's the traditional 12 days of Christmas, which everybody knows.
Correct.
And then there's the Bob and Doug McKenzie 12 days of Christmas, which if you're a Canadian and you don't know it, get out.
Shame on you. Yeah.
And then there's some other one by, I don't know what the hell it is. I've never heard it before and thought it was stupid.
There's a guy from Saskatchewan. He is kind of a, he's not a Ukrainian impersonator. He plays like the stereotypical Ukrainian. Anyway, his name is Metro, and he's got the 11 days from Christmas.
Gotcha.
So I'm not sure, Daryl.
I thought it was hilarious when you sent that.
Yeah. So,
quite funny.
So your options come from any of those. You can interpret
Mix
any
and
of
match.
those however you like. Exactly.
Right. Mix and match. So, Rich, I don't want to talk about it. That'll be the end of it. I'm not ready yet. Okay, Brian's our guest, and our guest always kicks things off. So, on the first day of Christmas, what do you got, Brian? It can be from any one of those lists. However you interpret it.
So it's a tough one. Usually these live streams are sane and sensible. This one I found a little insane. So also, I had a really busy day. So I came home from work and I was running around at the last minute trying to find records. So we'll start with the Bob and Doug McKenzie. So if you know, the first day of Christmas, his true love gave him a beer. So I went with Hamilton's Teenage Head. And if you know this record, you know there's a track on here called Teenage Beer Drinking Party, which is kind of like an anthem for house parties way back in 1982. And pretty fun song. You know, they take some care though, because they say at the beginning they're going to where's the lyrics here? Hide all the antiques and put all the paintings away, so no one breaks their breaks the parents' stuff. So, Teenage Beer Drinking Party. But if you know the song, you know that he sings, "My true love gave to me a beer in a tree." So I thought because that's the same, you know, part of the song, I would actually show you my favorite Christmas song that references a tree. That's Fake Plastic Trees by Radiohead. So there you go, Fake Plastic Trees from the Bends. So just to round out that thought about the beer, because it's not just a beer, it's actually in a tree.
Well done.
Very nice.
Well done.
Okay, so I don't forget, because I will. I watched has anybody else watched the Jeff Buckley yet on HBO or on Crave, I think. So there's just a reference to Radiohead in it. That's what made me think of it. Yeah. Anyway, it's good. So there you go, Chris, man. Watch that. Okay,
and the Bends is a fantastic Radiohead album.
It is.
I think it's in Fake Plastic Trees. They actually play the triangle.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah,
Classy.
I think it's in that one.
That.
Yeah.
So there's life after the orchestra for someone.
Yes. Well, to kind of tail off what you were saying, Brian, I also went with Bob and Doug. Now, I don't know those of you that are beer drinkers, but I can't see anything more exciting than if you're at a bar and somebody was to give you free beer.
Free beer.
So I do have an album. This is a 1970s American country band. I was looking at them the other day. And of course, the backside, the beer is open and foaming. So that looks like a delicious drink. But if Americana Sam was here, he might like this. This is kind of like Americana country, mid to late 70s music. These guys did have a single with Coupe de Ville is the name of the song. I was listening to it yesterday. And I mean, if you've heard those late 70s groups, I mean, I wouldn't say that these guys are Alabama, but it kind of is that not twangy, but Alabama-esque country music. And they had 3 albums, and only this one gained any popularity. So a nice, refreshing Bob and Doug free beer for day one.
All right.
All right. Very good. Joe.
I don't know, little known fact, the skit from SNL was actually supposed to be a guy playing the triangle, and the line was actually, "I've got the flu and the only prescription is more triangle." But that they went the different route. Yeah. I'm going right on the nose. I'm going to go with a Partridge. The Partridge Family. This is not the one with I Think I Love You on it, but it's got because it's on that one. So yeah, right on the nose, because it is a partridge in a pear tree. But look, it's a DJ sample. It's a white label promo, I think. I don't know, maybe not, but it is a DJ sample. I care about it so much, I've got it in the original paper sleeve. So it's I don't mind. I don't mind the Partridge Family. There's a couple of moments. Shirley Jones was kind of cute too, so that helps a little bit as well. But I could listen to I Think I Love You. I think that's a song that has held up over time, or at least it has for me. But yeah, so there you go. We're going to start off right on the nose, and Rob and I are just going to have the same thing, except he's got the album with the song, I think, that everybody knows, and I've got this one. So there's Danny on there, and there's everybody's on the cover. So yeah, there you go. Partridge Family for a partridge in a pear tree.
All right. So the Partridge Family album. There they are on the back. So someone several years ago gave me a box of records. Like, it was a friend of mine. He goes, "I know you like records. I got this. Someone gave me this box of records. Do you want it?" And there was 3 or 4 things I wanted in it. I didn't want to be like, "Hey, I'll just take those 3 or 4 things." Yeah, I'll take the box of records. I took the box of records and I took 3 or 4 things out of it, and then the rest went to Goodwill because there was nothing of value in that. But there was this, so this cost me absolutely nothing. I don't really give 2 shits about the Partridge Family, except I Think I Love You. I think it's a fun song. Doesn't mean it's not a good song. It's just it's fun, it's catchy, and been in some movies and whatever. So I went, yeah, I like that song. I'll keep it. And it's the only track on this album I've ever listened to. So,
and I am of the age that I watched.
My question is, oh, go ahead, Joe.
Oh, I was just going to say I'm of the age that I watched the Partridge Family. So they were reruns. They weren't originals when I was watching them, but they were reruns already. So
I've watched it too. I mean, it used to be on like Much Music or Much More Music or one of those. So I would watch. I mean, I think they would show Monkeys reruns and then Partridge Family reruns, and I've watched it a few times since then because it's based on the real life Cowsills, and I know one of the Cowsills. So out of sort of curiosity's sake, I watch it, and it is what it is. It was a fun sitcom. So
yeah, exactly.
Have any of you ever tried partridge? Like actually eaten partridge?
No. Quail, which I know is not partridge, so I don't know why the hell I said that, but quail I have, but not partridge.
When I first moved up here, we used to have high school students that would, on weekends, walk up the road with a 22 gauge shotgun in a case up the road, just go up into the woods and just shoot partridge, gut them right there. And I've actually tried it in the woods, just gutted, dredged in a flour mixture and fried in oil in the woods.
Yeah. And
very unique if you don't get a pellet shell in your mouth.
Yeah. That's sure. That makes sense, I guess.
That is not a fun experience, but yeah.
So Ryan and I are thinking on the same line. If you're into the Partridge Family, check out the Cowsills. They did a version of the song "Hair," which was popular, and their other big hit was "The Rain,
the Park, and Other Things."
Yes, thank you. So
there you
go. I know Billy Cowsill, who I think was the oldest or second oldest. I know his son, who lives just near Niagara Falls, actually. So I've known him for a number of years. All right. So that was the first day of Christmas. On the second day of Christmas, what did you get, Brian?
So sticking with Bob and Doug, as you may know, he gets 2 turtlenecks. And I was trying to find an album cover that had someone wearing a turtleneck, but I struck out on that. So I chose this record from The National called Sleep Well Beast. And some of you may know that track 6 on here is actually called Turtleneck. You may be able to see it, track 6.
You can see it, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And I don't know, it's kind of it's an okay song, but it's a little weird to have a song about a turtleneck. And he sings somewhere, if I could find the lyrics. Oh yeah, so give the gift that fits your head. You have to get this turtleneck. It's a weird song, okay, but it strikes me that in my youth was a popular Christmas gift. You'd get a turtleneck at Christmas, even if you didn't want one. So I went with one turtleneck from this record because it's all I could come up with. So
good enough.
There you go.
I'm not positive, but I think maybe Garfunkel has a turtleneck on the cover of one. I think, right? Yeah. Maybe. Oh, it makes sense that he would. I think, but I'm fairly certain that there's one of them. Maybe Sound of Silence. I don't know, or Bridge Over Troubled Water. Maybe Bridge.
I think you're onto something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Richard loves The National. So many great albums.
Agreed.
Yeah, I'm not a National fan, but Aaron Dessner wrote a lot of Taylor Swift songs.
That's true.
Okay. Daryl, what did you get on the second day of Christmas?
On the second day of Christmas, I also got Turtles. Now, not the band The Turtles. I almost went with my 45 with It Ain't Me, Babe, but I didn't go that way. But instead, I called up the police and I said, "Hey, Sting, what can you get me?" And Sting gave me The Dream of the Blue Turtles. Sting gave me.
There you go.
Yeah.
So that's what I came up with, which is not a single on this album, but it is a track on this album. But this is the one that has "If You Love Somebody, Set Them Free," which I know, like Joe, I think it's you that does, or Rob. I mean, I don't think you like Sting as a solo artist, eh?
I don't like
More
Sting at all. I think he's a pompous
Sting at all.
ass.
Yeah, this is probably one of those albums that if you definitely don't like Sting, you're not gonna like this one. But it's got "Fortress Around Your Heart" on it, and
Russians.
of course, "The Dream of the Blue Turtles," which is a cool song. But yeah, no, it's got "If You Love Somebody, Set Them Free" would be the big single off of this.
Mhm.
And so yeah, no, Sting on the second day of Christmas got me some Blue Turtles. Is what Sting
Close.
got me. So that kind of, I guess, combines the Bob and Doug plus the two Turtle Doves. I couldn't find. If I would have had Hank Snow's, what's that song called? The White Dove one there. Anyway, I would have went with Hank Snow, but I don't have any Hank Snow.
White Dove.
Yeah.
Yeah. On the wings
Snow
of a
White Dove, I think it was called.
Well, for what it's worth, I like that Sting record.
Yeah, no, it's a good album.
I don't dislike Sting, but I will 100% take him in the Police versus his solo stuff. That's me. So yeah.
I'm
Yeah, he's
shocked.
definitely divisive, and I think for some people, he's one of those artists too, like Stuart Copeland and stuff. Like when you see him in interviews and he's talking about the drums, he's just kind of a goofy guy. He doesn't really care. Whereas Sting is like the complete opposite. He's one of the most arrogant.
Yes.
I think he's a turnoff that way. People just don't like him. Yeah.
I am shocked to read that Chris only has the Police greatest hits.
I think that's the only greatest hits he has, though, is that one, by the Police. I think that's the only one. So.
Probably. He's not big into greatest hits.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
No.
He's not. All right.
All right,
So
Joe, what'd you get on the second day?
on the second day, I'm going, I think, yeah, I kept it the traditional song all the way through. So I did go with the Turtles. Here, I'll take it out of the sleeve. The Turtles. I showed this a little while ago, actually. This is best of golden hits, whatever you want to call it. But I actually got two Turtle Doves, Neil Young. And yeah, so I actually got both the Turtles and the Doves. But Hawks and Doves, Neil Young. I don't know. Brian, you're a Neil fan, I think. What's your thoughts on this one? I haven't listened to it in a long time, so I'm gonna have to put it on and give it another go, I think. So
Yeah, I think it's good. I wouldn't put it in my top 5 or 6.
Yeah,
but it's good.
Yeah, it's better than And the Shocking Pinks, although I don't mind And the Shocking
I actually
Pinks.
like the Shocking Pinks.
Yeah, me too. So yeah, it just gets shit on all the time, and I kind of like that one. But anyway, so yes, the two Turtle Doves is what I got for the second days of Christmas.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. I went a different route than you guys because I didn't think about turtles because I don't think I have anything turtles. But then I said to myself, Self, you're 47 years old and have never questioned what in the fuck is a turtle dove. I Googled what is a turtle dove. And according to this, it is a threatened and vulnerable member of the bird family. I'm not going to pronounce the Latin name. It's basically the dove and pigeon family. So apparently they're European and they look like that and they're gray and they're endangered apparently. So there you go. And so I went stretch on this one. This is kind of a lyrical stretch, but it's the word dove just kept going in my head. Just like the white-winged dove from Edge of 17, Stevie Nicks.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
That's the only thing in 900 records I could think of that would relate to two turtle doves. So she is holding this is Belladonna Live, which obviously has this on here. It's a great record actually because it's live from the Belladonna tour and she does some Fleetwood Mac songs. Very good. On the Belladonna album, she's holding a bird on the cover. I don't know if that's a turtle dove. I have no idea. I would imagine it's a white-winged dove, though. But I just figured I would go with the live one because I've shown Belladonna enough. So there you go. A bit of a stretch, but it counts because I said so.
No,
There are no rules. There are no rules other than show the gatefold. Was that a gatefold?
Oh, yes. Hold on.
And I'll always take a Stevie Nicks gatefold, I think. Maybe not. I haven't seen it, so. Oh, yeah, there you go. Is that Waddy?
It is Waddy. Yep.
Yep.
My second favorite guitar player.
Yeah.
So this was a record store day thing from a couple years ago. Recorded
Cool.
live at the Wilshire Theater in Beverly Hills, 13th of December, 1981. Look at that. It's almost the 13th of December. So
1981. Good Lord.
Richard, Annie Lennox is great. It took me a little while to get used to her after the Eurythmics, but she's a really good singer.
I like Annie.
Ryan likes
Is this what people with hair feel like, or they always got to swing it out of the way? I've never had that problem. So
this is the hair challenged panel. Brian's got the longest hair. Brian has the only hair.
Well, that's saying something. There's not much there.
Stevie's holding a white cockatoo. Okay, well there you go. Thank you for clearing that up. Evil Thoughts and Shoot for Saying It. White Winged Dove would be an awesome fit, but 1990 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Yeah, that was a lifetime ago.
Yeah.
I was like, man, if only I had some Vanilla Ice, I would have shown, what was that song you did, Ninja Rap or whatever for the Ninja Turtle movie.
Yeah.
I don't have, Daryl has a Vanilla Ice record. I don't have a Vanilla Ice.
He does.
I want a Vanilla Ice record.
I do.
Scott, how you doing?
Scott?
I long for that Vanilla Ice record like you did the OG Richie Valens that I had, which you now have as well. That's how badly I want, what's it called? To the Extreme, I think was Vanilla Ice's first record.
Yeah, I think it's To the Extreme.
Yeah. That's how much I want that record. I've never seen it. Keep looking. It's a cheap record. You buy it online for like $5, but I've never seen it anywhere. So.
Yeah, I've never seen it. Not that I've seen that many, but I've seen a lot of collections. It's never been in any of them. And I'm not sure if I would have kept it or not, but
well, if one ever comes
Brian up in the top right corner of my screen is looking at us going, I'd never own Vanilla Ice.
Listen, I don't like rap at all. I can't stand it. I like some Ice, but it's one of those fucking songs where I know every goddamn word. And my kid laughs his ass off. So for that alone, that's why I want it.
that's good.
Wow.
Okay. On the third day of Christmas, Brian got something.
Well, I'm forging on with the Bob and Doug here. So this was a tough one because it's 3 French toast. And believe it or not, I don't know if anybody knows this, but on this record from the English Beat called What Happened, there is a song called French Toast. All right. So French Toast, side 1, and in brackets it says Soleil trop chaud, which actually means sun too hot. So I don't know how those fit together. The song is sung in French as far as I can tell. And to make matters worse, the lyric sheet in here doesn't include the song, so I can't figure out what the lyrics are. And I went online, you find lyrics. No one knows the lyrics to this song. So, but it does say French Toast in the title. So I was pretty chuffed with finding that one because I thought there's no way I'm going to find anything that had French toast or anything to do with French toast. I don't have any records with French toast on the cover or toast of any kind. So that's the best I could do on that. And I think it's pretty on target. So that's pretty good, right? French toast.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That'll
That's
do.
great. Plus, that's a great album.
For sure.
Yeah.
I like French toast.
I could go for some French toast right now.
French toast with my wife. My wife hates it when I buy we can't call it Aunt Jemima anymore. She is a straight up maple syrup lady. She will not touch the fake stuff.
Oh, me neither. I live on the edge of Mennonite country, so I go get it from the Mennonites.
Joanne got an advent calendar that she's been opening up daily, and it's a different jam every day. So we had Eggos, and we just kept loading up Eggos and split them in half and put some because they're just tiny little jars, but it's not enough for one sitting. It's for a couple. So yeah, we on Monday night we just had Eggos and jam. It was great.
Have you had any interesting flavors of jam, or are they pretty much like the strawberry, raspberry?
No, they've been there's some different ones. I can't remember exactly, but the apricots, and I think there was one where there was not lilies. There was some flower was part of it. And yeah, no, it's been interesting. It hasn't been the standard stuff. There was one with cherry, but then there was some other crazy part that it was as well. So yeah, it's been kind of cool to go along. My brother-in-law got me a tea advent calendar, so it's been a different tea every night, and then it's been a different jam every day. So it's been good. It's been good.
All right. So for this day number 3, right? So day number 3, I actually went with Metro on this one, Metro's version. And on the 3rd day of Christmas, according to Metro, he gets 3 rubber boots, which is quite strange why you'd only get 3 rubber boots. But I went with this is actually going to be a picture from a cover. So when we think singer-songwriters in Canada, we think Leonard Cohen, we think Gordon Lightfoot, but a lot of people forget about Valdi. And on this cover, he is wearing rubber boots on what looks like the shore of a lake or something like that. I'm not quite sure what the family gathering means on this because it's just him standing there on the side of a beach. But he's got the rubber boots on. And I've always liked Valdi. Valdi actually reminds me of my dad. My dad used to listen to this, and he's one of those singers that, we've talked about this, Rob's talked about this many times, that until my dad passed away, I just never got it. I never understood it. And now, like, I could listen to Valdi all the time. So this one here has Rock and Roll Song on it, which is an amazing one. But it's also got the Ode to Wilf Carter, which funny to talk about Wilf Carter because my mom grew up in a household that's all they listened to was the Carters. My mom can't stand them, but this even comes with the inner and everything. And I bought this for $1 at Value Village, so I couldn't go wrong with it. But yeah, it's got Simple Life, rock and roll song, city musician, proud to make a living. So I guess he's kind of the outlier in the Leonard Cohen / Gordon Lightfoot singer-songwriter Canadians. But yeah, 3 rubber boots by the Ukrainian Metro. I will have another Metro one coming up later. Right? I've mixed and matched all 3 in mine. So there we go. 3 rubber boots.
He's from Saskatchewan. He might even be from right here in Regina. There's another story, but it's a little depressing. So I'll decide if I'm going to share it later, but about Metro. But on the inside of that cover, there looked like a grain elevator. I wonder where was that grain elevator from? I think there was a Prairie Sentinel in one of the pictures in there. So maybe that gives you
on the inside of the
on the lyric sheet. I thought I saw on the flip side down in the corner.
Oh yeah. You're right.
So
it is right there in the
where it's from,
bottom corner. Holy cow! I need a magnifying glass.
Doesn't matter.
It's in Alberta.
Oh, okay.
Crabby Lake, I think it is. Crabby Lake. Granby Lake.
Cool. Well, there you go. Neat. Excellent. All right. On the 3rd day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 3 French hens. So the French part is going to be Bob Welsh and French Kiss. Bob Welsh of Fleetwood Mac, right?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Where was he? Yeah,
Yep.
Fleetwood Mac, right? Yeah, back in Peter Green and stuff. And then went out on his own and did 2 for sure, maybe 3 albums, had 1 hit. That was about it. But the French comes from Bob Welsh and French Kiss. And then the hand comes from, and Rob, I think you'll recognize this album. And I am not 100%.
I do know that one.
I know you were looking down, but I'll put it back up again. I'm not 100% that is a chicken on the cover, and it's probably more of a rooster, and it could be, I'm not sure, but we're going to go with it being a hen. So 3 French hens. There's not 3 of them on there, but this, of course, is Mr. Matt Mays, and there's the inner and of the gatefold. Matt looking all solemn. I listened to this today. Pretty damn good album. But you can just basically say that whenever it comes to a Matt Mays album, right? But yeah, really good. So again, I am not 100% that is a chicken and or a hen. I had a couple. I had Atomic Rooster, but I knew a rooster wasn't a hen. I'm going to go with that being a hen. So whether it is or not, it doesn't really matter. But there. So 3 French hens and Matt Mays. This is a great album. And Rob, you're much more up on the Matt Mays. This is Twice Upon a Hell of a Time, which is the outtakes or the sister version to, or the other one came after.
It's the complete acoustic re-recording of Once Upon a Hell of a Time.
There we go. Thank you.
And I much prefer that over Once Upon a Hell of a Time.
This was, like I said, I
So
listened
good.
to this today. Fantastic.
So good.
Yeah.
So good. And Matt has a new album in the works. He and I talked about it when I bumped into him in Hamilton.
Yeah, good. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool. So there you go. 3 French hens.
Okay. This one was tricky. So I'm trying to do this all with the traditional 12 Days of Christmas that everyone knows. I got to show a CD, unfortunately, on this one. But then I'm gonna show a vinyl record from the Bob and Doug list. So I'm doing a 2-for-1 because I can. Yeah. So I'm going to show this Whitehorse, who I love from Toronto. I've talked about many times. This is called Éphémère sans repère, which is their French. I guess it's an EP. There's 6 songs. I don't know. Is that an EP or is that a short album? I don't know. I guess we'll call it a short album. Yeah. So they had an album with a similar album cover where Melissa's on the front, Luke's on the back, and it's called The Fate of the World Depends on This Kiss. This was recorded at the same time. And there is 2 songs off of here that were on the English language album, and then there's some others on here. Very good. I speak enough French to get the gist of it, but not fully appreciate it. Brian might appreciate that there's a song in here that was made famous by Leonard Cohen. They cover In Canadian Errant, and they do a pretty good job of it. And it's also on, and I'll just talk about this as well. It's on their live EP, which is not live EP. It's on their EP, The Road to Massey Hall, where this was before they sold out their first Massey Hall show. They put out this and sold it in that tour leading up to the Massey Hall show. And it's all covers of songs made famous by people who have played Massey Hall. And again, that song is on here as well. So French. I don't have anything that's, French hens, but that is a French language album. And I believe it's the only French language album I have. To do it on vinyl, I got to go to the one and only time I'm going to go to the Bob and Doug McKenzie list. And kind of the same as was mentioned before, French Toast. I'm going to go to The Darkness, Dreams on Toast, which is their most recent album, which is absolutely fantastic. Saw the fellas on this tour. This is an autographed copy. There's an autographed insert inside of here. But, The Darkness, Dreams on Toast, French Toast.
Very nice.
We are all caught up in the comments. Everybody's quiet tonight.
Well, put up the one from Scott. Yeah, so for those that aren't aware, that is the lead singer of the band The Mavericks. And he passed away yesterday, day before, I can't remember. And Mavericks are fantastic, just kind of that Mexican country, whatever you want to call it, and really, really good stuff. And so that's good that you're doing that, Scott. That's great because I can't, I think a lot of people know the one song, All You Ever Do Is Bring Me Down. But other than that, it's not like they were big radio stars by any means, and not that means anything. It's just sometimes, obviously, the more airplay you get on terrestrial radio, the more people are going to know about you. So, but if you ever are looking for just some good, solid Spanish flavored country, whatever, the Mavericks. And unfortunately, that gentleman passed away yesterday, day before. So agreed. And it's just good. It's good stuff. It's great. They have, I don't know, 3 or 4 or 5. I can't remember exactly how many albums, but good stuff. So yeah.
Chris appreciates The Darkness. I know he's got the same record. So okay, on the 4th day of Christmas, Brian got something, and while he explains it, I'm quickly going to go say goodnight to my son. So I'll be right back.
All right. So I'm soldiering on with the Bob and Doug McKenzie version of this track because so the 4th day of Christmas, he gets 4 pounds of back bacon. Now, I have to tell you that I guess I'm a bad Canadian because I've never had back bacon. I know, shocking as that may sound. My first thought was Pink Floyd's Animals because Pigs on the Wing Part 1, Pigs on the Wing Part 2, Pigs 3 different ones. But I thought that's a little too mainstream. So I went back to 1990. Oh, my second thought was The Cure because of cured meat. But that's a little ridiculous. So
No, I like it, though.
1990, we got this 12-inch single, which is two artists. So we have KMFDM and My Life with a Thrill Kill Cult. This is on Wax Trax Records, and you may be able to see it. It's the Days of Swine and Roses. So
Yeah.
remixed by KMFDM, which is very cool. Kind of an industrial electro kind of band, which is, I can't remember where they're from, but a pretty interesting track. So that's my pig-related content because I couldn't find any song. Well, no song that I had, I couldn't find any references to bacon anywhere. So that was really sad. But that's as close as I could come to Stick to the Bob and Doug McKenzie version of 12 Days of Christmas. And they don't even get to 12 days. They kind of stop at around 8.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. This is taking too long. And then I think they jump to 12
right.
from, I don't even know what number they get to, but yeah. This
They
is
get to 8.
too long. So, yeah. Okay, Daryl, you're up.
This was a tough one because no matter which road I went, I was struggling with all 3 songs on this because what is it? The Metro one I think is for Halupski, which is cabbage rolls.
Cabbage rolls. Yeah. So if you had some Swing Brothers,
you'd be hard pressed to find a song about cabbage rolls. I guess I don't know. It'd be kind of cool to find it. He talks a lot about food in that song. He's got sour cream. He's got Halupski. He's got pierogies. On the 5th day, he's got the other thing, and then the last day he's got borscht, which I don't know if anybody found borscht for it, but for this one I also went with bacon. And the way that I did this is 80s. The 80s seem to have all these super groups, Asia and all that kind of stuff. By mid 80s, there was the super group GTR or Guitar, and the lead singer of this group is Max Bacon. So I went with Max Bacon from the GTR group. The only single, I think the only song that they did that went mainstream was When the Heart Rules the Mind, which is, it's just a rock song, I guess, from the 80s, top 40. That'd be about it. But yeah, no, this is Steve Hackett's supergroup band with Steve Howe and Phil Spalding, Jonathan Mover, and Max Bacon. So that is where I went with this, was 4 pounds of back bacon, using Max Bacon as my connection to that.
Excellent.
So I'm not sure if anybody's familiar with GTR, but it's supposed to be pronounced guitar.
Yeah. I recognize the cover, but that's about the extent of it. I don't know if I ever listened to it, and that single doesn't hit me right off the top. I'd have to go and have a listen.
You'd probably know the single to hear it. But
maybe, yeah. Like I said, I recognize the album cover. I don't have it, but yeah. So I'll give them a re-listen. On the 4th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 4 calling birds. I'm going to go with London Calling from The Clash, which I talk about all the time and show all the time, but I don't care. I love this album. So there you go. London Calling, an original, all a little beat up on the cover, which is how you want your London Calling. And then Calling Birds, and I just went with the Birds. So, there were lots of options, but I just went with the Birds, and I went with Mr. Tambourine Man. So I don't need to say too much about the Birds, but there you go. So 4 calling birds, calling, and birds.
Nice.
Okay. I don't have any Birds records, but I do have a Holly's record and a Burrito Brothers record, and that's half the Birds. But
it is, yeah.
I didn't go that way. I went much, much more literal than that. Literally 4 calling birds, and those birds would be Don Henley, Glenn Fry, Randy Meisner, and Bernie Leadon, the Eagles, and there's 4 of them. I mean, there you go. The self-titled, which if you open it up, it is a gatefold. So there's this, and it's supposed originally, I mean, if you would cut it open, which would be retarded, I can't say that word, would be a silly thing to do. Pardon my politically incorrectness. This is the inside right here, and it was supposed to be like one big picture. Like this was the sky above their heads, so they're looking up at whatever. That's what they were. It's what it was supposed to be. So anyway, this was the first record. Take It Easy, Witchy Woman, Peaceful Easy Feeling. So those were the three monster hits for the Eagles off of their self-titled. So 4 Calling Birds. I picked the original 4 Eagles. Quite literal.
There are no rules. There are no rules.
That's right.
Rules.
Brian got something on the 5th day. I wonder what it is.
Right. So Bob and Doug McKenzie. So 5 golden toques in that song. And to be honest, the only record I could find with toques on it is oddly this Bob and Doug McKenzie record.
There you go.
The Great White North.
Yeah.
And you can see they have toques on the front and toques on the back. But I thought that's, it's what I'm talking about. But I thought I have to do better than that. So there's toques inside too. So in this record from Blondie, I think many people know this, the song Rapture, she sings about a guy looking kind of funny in a leather jacket, in a pork pie hat with a toque on his head. So it always struck me as really weird why he'd be wearing 2 hats.
2 hats.
But maybe that's why he's looking a little funny. So yeah, this is a very strange concept of a song, and I don't really quite understand it. But trust me, she sings pork pie hat with a toque on his head, which makes no sense. But I couldn't think of another song that had toque in it, and this is the only thing I could think of that had toques on the cover. Lots of hats around, but no toques. And this also has the benefit of showing the old Canadian stubbies there.
Stubbies, yeah.
And these weird beer steins. So that's kind of funny. That's all I could do.
If you're ever in Edmonton, there's actually a bronze statue of those two. It's kind of right near Rexall or whatever the hell their new Rogers place is. It's a bench, and it's the two of them sitting there, and they look exactly like they look on the cover or whatever. So if you want to go get your picture taken with Bob and Doug on the bronze bench, and they're in bronze, it's good. I've got a picture somewhere because of course I did that.
I guess I went to Edmonton, but I guess I missed that.
It's so there's the rink, and then across where there's like the big Canadian brew house, and where people always gather. It's at the far end of that. If you go back, it's at the far end of that opening where everybody kind of gathers in the middle there, where they have the fire going, and when they were in the playoffs, where they had the big screens going and stuff. So,
all right, good to know. Good to know.
Yeah.
Okay, Daryl.
All right, so for this one here, on Sunday, Joe talked about this particular band, and he is actually related to one of the members that's in this band.
I am.
And it's a band called Golden Avatar. And if memory serves me right, Joe, you are related to the drummer, Drew
Yep.
Lawrence, that is in this band. And I think you said they're from LA.
Yep.
So Golden Avatar, the way that I guess you would describe this, they're like Krishna music, but they're kind of like Seals and Crofts mixed with Krishna music and different, maybe Eastern European, Eastern instruments, vibes, harp, flutes, trumpet, strings. So Golden Avatar, it's another one of these dollar finds that I got on a blind buy. I think it's got some pretty cool artwork though. That's on there. So I'm going with the Golden Avatar. And like I said, to tie it together, when we were on the show on Sunday, it's on a weird Sudarshan label. I think it's their own personal label. Joe mentioned that he is related to the drummer. I think you said it's your cousin, right?
Yeah, he's my cousin. Yeah. The short version of the story is I was watching a Remembrance Day ceremony, and there was the pipe and drum band, which he always was in, and I knew he was in a band, so I went and looked him up on Discogs, and he's got the album he was in here when he lived in Regina, and then he's on that, and he's also on Songs in the Key of Life for a song, and he's on a Beastie Boys album for a song as well, playing some drums. So he took over the kind of the Krishna lifestyle and moved down to LA. And yeah, that's yacht rock Krishna music, for lack of the proper way of putting it. And it's not horrible. I could listen to it. I don't know how many times I would listen to it, but it's not that bad. So yeah, so then my cousin is on there.
Rob Walker's watching, and he says this reminds him of a Chris Mann stream. Of course it does, because Chris Mann can't be original enough and has to steal my panel every week. Chris Mann. So yeah, it reminds you of a Chris Mann stream because he's just trying to copy us.
It's more like your panel are just a couple of live stream sluts is really what it is. So it's
yeah, but I'm trying to throw shade at Chris Mann. I'm not trying to throw shade at you guys. So
no, I know.
Goddamn Welsh. Yeah. On that note, I got one that's for Chris Mann coming up here. So stay tuned. All right. So now it's Joe's turn.
My turn. So 5 golden rings. So I'm going to go with Golden Earring is going to be the golden part of this, and my favorite by them, which has Twilight Zone on it. Just such a fantastic song. I think we talked about doing maybe I'll give away one of my choices down the line. We talked about songs with great solos in it. The drum solo from Twilight Zone is fantastic in the middle of that song. So that's the golden part. And it's 5 golden rings, and Lobo has a song actually just specifically called Rings. And this is a fantastic album. It is the best of Lobo, but I really like this guy. Me and You and a Dog Named Boo, A Simple Man, just great fun, easy listening music that I have always enjoyed. So yeah, the best of Lobo. So the 5 golden rings is where I went with that.
Quite literal. I like it. I like it. Okay, Chris, man, this is for you. This is also for Daryl, because I know you're both going to love this. Chris, it's a greatest hits, and this is also Daryl's favorite band, ABBA.
It's a duper. It's everybody's favorite.
Right? So I love ABBA. I admit it, I love ABBA. I don't have all the albums, and unfortunately, I don't have the album that this came off of, but I'm going to go with Ring Ring. Love it. I think it was their first single, but it is the name of their first album in 1973, Ring Ring. And interestingly, they weren't ABBA at the time. They were Agneta, Bjorn, Benny, and Frida was how it was labeled on the cover. They hadn't yet abbreviated to ABBA, but anyway, that was their first record. Ring Ring, great single. I've never actually seen that album out in the wild. I mean, ABBA albums are dime a dozen. I've never seen that album anywhere, and I need to find it because, I'm missing 2 ABBA records. So there you go. Ring Ring. I don't have anything golden. I mean, I probably could, but, I mean, you don't need anything else if you've got ABBA. Right, Daryl?
Hey, if you got the ABBA greatest hits, why not?
Right? Exactly.
I don't have that one, though. I've got the other greatest hits.
My wife has the other greatest hits. I still need to get the other greatest hits. So I'm missing 3. I'm missing the first 2 studio albums and then the second greatest hits. So.
I think what I need to do is I just need to put ABBA on the turntable again one of these days and just listen to it, and maybe I'll get a new appreciation for it.
Don't count on it.
It's classic. It's so good. Perfect.
I like them. Yeah, I like them. Just put it when nobody's home, dance like nobody's watching, Daryl. Just put some ABBA on and dance like nobody is watching.
Yep. Absolutely. Rob says it looks like Joe's the only one who got the Christmas hat memo. I'm wearing red. I mean, that's the best I could do. I don't have a Santa hat. So Chris says, I've forgotten how many times I've been referencing the vinyl community of greatest hits. Well, the reputation is well deserved. I would venture to say you probably have more greatest hits than anybody, and there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, on the 6th day of Christmas, Brian got some.
Yeah, so I'm as you can tell,
Bob and Doug, right?
I'm soldiering on with Bob and Doug. Why not? Because you got 6 packs of 2-4. And I don't know if the American or overseas viewers or whatever know what a 2-4 is, but in Canada, a 2-4 is a case of 24 beers. And so I picked the only record I think that has that depiction on it. So many Canadians may know this record from Max Webster, and you'll instantly recognize this as a beer store, despite the fact that there's faces here. But way back in the day, when you ordered beer, they would roll out on these rollers. You'd grab your case of beer and you'd go. And weirdly, the one I used to go to, they wouldn't even say in the microphone to the guy in the back, 24 or whatever. They just say one, and that meant one case of 124. And so I've always thought this was a pretty Canadian cover. On the back, you have the similar thing, but being filled up with a can of Max Webster, which is really weird. Anyway, this is the band that spawned Kim Mitchell, the force behind Max Webster. They were compared to people like Frank Zappa in a way back in the day. This is a fantastic record, though. And not only is there beer referenced on the front, there's a song in here called Hangover, and the reprise in that is like Alka-Seltzer, Tang, and a 50. It's all over, got a hangover. And again, for those not in Canada, 50 is Labatt 50, a classic old Canadian beer that people would drink back in the day. That's a song about a hangover. So if you're going to have 6 packs of 2-4, you're going to have a hangover. So that's why I chose this record. And in the States, this was released under the title Hangover, the album, not self-titled, the first record. So 1976, saw them play a couple of times. Pretty interesting band, I have to say.
I had a buddy back in high school that would buy Labatt 50 beer to take to parties because he knew nobody else would drink his beer. And or if someone was, it was really easy to find them because everybody had blue, everybody had Canadian, but there weren't a whole hell of a lot of 50 drinkers out there of our age anyway. That's a generation even before me. Although, I don't know, maybe somebody's still drinking it. I sure as heck wasn't.
For us, it was Molson Stock Ale or Black Label if you didn't want someone to take your beer.
Yeah, I had a coworker that used to drink Black Label. It is awful.
Yeah. There was Calgary was bad. I was not a big Bow fan either. So, but that's 35 years ago too. So anyway.
Richard is saying he wish he could find a Max Webster album or two. They're elusive south of the border. I mean, that one in particular, I don't, and Tim is actually pointing out that one's hard to find, but there are certain Max Webster albums that are literally every time you go to the flea market, like with Diamonds,
that's the greatest hits.
A Million Vacations, and
yeah, all the time, and they're like $5 or less.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Richard, next time I end up going to a flea market, I will grab any Max Webster I see for you because I guarantee you they'll be cheap. Not that diminishes the music. Max Webster is fantastic, but there's just so much of it out there, of a few of their albums. So,
it's true.
Okay, Daryl.
I'm just trying to figure out in my mind how I'm going to follow that up because I don't have anything exciting like a 2-4 or a hangover to go with this. I've shown this actually on my channel. Oddly enough, it's probably one of my most valuable records, and I have 2 of them. But I'm going with the 6 geese a laying, and of course the singular of geese is goose. And I have a local album called Goose Wings, Songs of James Bay, and of course that is a goose right on the cover. And basically, this is a compilation of local Cree indigenous bands and musicians. I guess you would call it folk world indigenous music. And this particular copy here I got for free on somebody's front lawn as they were having a yard sale. They were like, I just want to get rid of all these records. And I went, all right, I'm taking them. And I found I got the band. I had the band and a few others. But it's pretty nice artwork. Like I said, by a lot of local indigenous people from northeastern Ontario. So I can't really say too much else about it because not too many people are going to know this stuff. But yeah, it's a cool album. It was a cool find. And oddly enough, I have found 2 copies of this for free up in this area.
Hold that album art up again, because that's not only is there a cobra chicken on the cover, there's also in the wings a fish and a beaver.
That is true. A fish and a beaver, yeah.
That does not get any more Canadian. That's fantastic.
Yeah, that is for sure.
I love it.
And to follow this up, has anybody here tried goose before?
I don't know.
I've tried goose. I'm a bigger fan of partridge than I am goose, but I actually had a former student of mine actually give me a goose for free. We went hunting, and during our hunt season, spring goose season, I've had kids come back with 20 of them in their freezer. So it's kind of a neat. I guess culturally, it's a neat thing for me up here. Um, Pretty foreign for somebody who's not from here, but it's a neat experience. Yeah.
I got bit by a goose once. They're vicious, those little bastards. That's why we call them cobra
Yeah.
chicken. What's Chris saying? I bought a goose for Christmas one year and really realized how much fat was on it. It was leaking through the oven, and my dog was licking up the fat.
Yikes.
Fantastic.
I guess if you really wanted to, you could probably replace the turkey and the turducken with a goose because it's about the same size. They are pretty big birds, actually. So,
Yeah.
and they are plentiful here in Regina. If you're ever looking for a goose, just come and I'll take you and show you all the geese you need. So
They're plentiful everywhere. In the
Yeah.
summer here, you can't even walk in the park because it's blanketed with goose shit.
there was I was at a football game a long time ago, and our seats are on the east side, and they started playing "O Canada," and there were 4 geese in unison, in formation, just like flew right through the stadium. It was like you
It's a
couldn't have
Canadian
planned it better.
flyover.
It was perfect. And I think TSN got it, and there might be a clip of it because, yeah. And so all of the people on our side, because they were coming from over here, everybody over here is just like, holy crap, look at that. That's awesome. And everybody on the other side is going, what the hell are you guys talking about? And then all of a sudden they came into view and it was like, oh, okay. It was perfect. It was the greatest flyover ever. So
That was as Canadian as the picture I saw on Facebook a couple weeks ago that there was a beaver standing in the drive-through lane of a Tim Hortons.
yeah, exactly. Yes. There you go. That's it.
And anyone else that's watching this, Chris Mann, Rob Walker, they're like, what the fuck are these guys talking about? Funny to us, gentlemen.
Chris will get all the Tim Hortons that he wants next year when he comes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That means it's Joe's turn, if I'm not mistaken.
It is. You are correct. Okay, so as Daryl so aptly pointed out, the singular of geese is goose, and I've got some Goose Creek Symphony, late 70s or late 60s, early 70s rock band. I'm not sure if there was anybody of mention in here. I don't know that for sure, so I'm not going to try and pretend that I do. It's just one that I've got in my collection that I chose to use for this. Broken Creek Goose Down. Broken Creek Goose Down, speaking of, so kind of country rockish or whatever, if I remember correctly, but the Goose Creek Symphony. So geese laying, and this is where Triumph was going to come in, lay it on the line. So geese laying. I listened to this album today, man. This is an awesome album. I always was a Triumph fan. I'm going to try and get to see him somewhere, hopefully, because it's going to be a good show. It's not going to be Triumph of old. It's going to be a little different, but I think it's still going to be pretty darn good. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully, I'll find a place to go and see him. And I'm still Gil, Mike, and Rick there to clarify from earlier on. So, yeah, if you don't know Triumph, this is a great place to start. Rock and Roll Machine, also good. Just really, really good stuff. So I like it. Just good Canadian three-person rock. There's another one out there that is also going out on tour with not all of its original members either. So anyway, there you go. Goose, a lay-in. Lay it on the line.
All right. I don't have anything with geese, gooses, goslings, nothing. So I immediately went, lay it on the line. I'm like, oh shit, I don't have any Triumph. So I gotta go. I'm really stretching on this one, fellas, but I guess laying. I mean, there's lots of songs about laying, but let's keep this,
Yeah.
keep this family. I'm gonna go with Lay Down Sally on Clapton's Slow Hand. So he's a wanker, but this is one of my favorite album covers because I'm a big fan of the Fender Stratocaster, which is why I have 2 of them over there on the wall, including a black and white one like this one. So there you go. Lay Down Sally.
Very nice.
Richard is saying Christmas goose is a very British thing. Didn't catch on in the U.S. and I'm sick of turkey. I am not sick of turkey. I could eat turkey every week. I'm cooking the turkey dinner for my whole family. So we got like 8 people, 10 people coming. Very excited.
I agree with you on a lot of things, and the love of turkey is another one. I could eat turkey all the time.
Yep.
So
Yep.
Glenn hates making it, and I
could cook it. I could cook a turkey every Sunday for dinner. I would be very happy year round. I would have no problem with that.
I don't think Brian feels
My
the same.
staff Christmas party is this Saturday, and they're doing ham and turkey, and I can guarantee you I will be going to the turkey and not the ham. Not that I don't like ham. It's just it's Christmas.
Going off
on
a quick tangent. My Christmas party was on Friday when I flew back from Montreal, and we went to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. I've always wanted to go to Ruth's. Never been because I can't afford it. So we went there for the Christmas dinner, and I had a $150 New York strip loin steak. And my response is, it was fine.
Yeah.
I've been many better steak places. Ruth's is overrated. There you go.
You going there put me in the mind of steak. So I went to the Keg on Saturday night, and the Keg was pretty good. So
you know what? Given the choice between the two, I will take the Keg over Ruth's.
Yeah, they're very consistent. So, but anyway,
it wasn't bad, but for $150, I went Keg's better.
Yeah. But Brian, you had thoughts on turkey.
Oh, I was just going to say that I don't mind turkey when someone else cooks it, but in our house we just do chicken.
Yeah,
Honestly.
there you go. Perfect.
Yeah.
We've gone to not the full bird, but the breast loaf. We've gone to that. So that's Joanne's compromises. She'll do that for me. But
I cooked one of those on Saturday just to prime me to get in the mood for Christmas, and then I'm going to cook the big bird on Christmas Day.
Excellent.
And the best thing about cooking the turkey is then I got leftovers for sandwiches the next day and the day after, and that's about as long as it lasts.
Yeah.
I will eat turkey every breakfast, lunch, and dinner until the leftovers are gone.
We finished Christmas supper. We'll say 6:30. 8:00, I'm having sandwiches. Like I tell everybody, okay, I'm having a sandwich at 8:00.
Yep.
But we just finished. I don't care.
Joe, you and I would get along very well in person.
Exactly.
Chris is saying a few years ago, I had a food, whiskeys, and a few whiskeys, I think is what you're trying to say. Decided to get the butter knife out and start slapping the turkey in front of the whole team, which went well in the next team's meeting. Good Lord.
Slapping the turkey, that's not what you want.
No. You sure that's not a euphemism for something, Chris?
All right.
On the 7th day of Christmas, I'm curious what Brian got. From Bob and Doug, probably.
I seeing Bob and Doug through to the end. It's 7 packs of smokes.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a pretty straight ahead interpretation of that, because all I did was grab a record cover where someone's smoking, and there are a lot to choose from. Oh, by the way, I should also say that I considered this one for a while. Well, I'm going to show it to you anyway. Smokey Robinson. Not that he's smoking, but, smoke. 7 packs of smokes, cigarettes. So I went with David Bowie, Young Americans. And, of course, he's having a cigarette there, which I've never been a smoker. I detest it, can't stand it. Probably because my mother and my brother smoked around me, and I just vile. So even that makes me feel awful just looking at it. But pretty simple interpretation of there's no 7 packs or anything, but there you go. The only other one I thought of was Rob, you might know this band. Well, maybe Joe would know it. Do you remember the band called The Wives? Isn't there an album cover where there's a cigarette pack on the front?
Yeah.
Oh
shit.
Yeah. But I don't have it.
I gotta Google it. I can't remember. Yes, there is.
They changed their name from the Battered Wives to The Wives, and I'm pretty sure there's a cigarette cover or cigarette box on the cover of one of them, but that's all I came up with for that.
That's like Teenage Head eventually had to become Teenage Heads, right?
Yeah, well. And then back again.
Yeah, and then back again. Yeah, screw it. We're just going back to it. So yeah. I do remember. I
wonder if Bush is allowed to go by Bush again in Canada, or if they still have to go by Bush X.
No, they were to play Bush now.
They can, eh?
Yep. The album is called Cigarettes, Brian, from 1980.
There you go. If I had that one, I would have brought it out.
Battered Wives. I'm going to pull it up so people can see it. Battered Wives. All right, let's look. It looks like a pack of cigarettes. Absolutely. There you go.
That's it.
Yeah, I've seen that. I think maybe I had that one along the line somewhere and then sold it because now I'm looking at it on Discogs as well. I guess the other one too could have been Camel because it basically looks like a pack of Camels as well on the front. So,
Okay. Daryl, what'd you get on the 7th day of Christmas?
Well, on the 7th day of Christmas, according to Metro, he got 7 2x4s, I think it was,
That's right.
which he used to build his chicken shed and hen house, I think it was, something like that in the song. I can't remember exactly what it was. So I went with Amy Stewart's Knock on Wood. Knock on Wood for the 2x4 there. And I mean, obviously I'm not a huge disco fan, but I do like the song Knock on Wood. It's great. And of course we talk about knocking on wood every day. Especially when I'm acting administration on the school, somebody will come up to me and be like, "Hey, it's been a pretty good day," and I'm like, "Yeah, knock on wood."
yeah.
Next thing I need is some crazy kid coming up to me asking me to search a bag or something like that. I don't know, but yeah, Amy Stewart. I don't know. I think that's the only song she's known for, "Knock on Wood,"
Probably.
and but I don't know, kind of pretty cool cover.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
Other
that.
than that,
I mean, lots of speaking of great drums in it, right? And we were talking about
yeah,
drums
for sure.
earlier. It's definitely got that going for it. So
That is my favorite Christmas song right there. Christmas Must Be Tonight by the band. Love it. Joe.
all right, swans a swimming, 7 swans a swimming. So I have gone with, this is the closest I could get. I thought I had something a little more on the nose, but the record label that Led Zeppelin started, Swan Song.
Mhm.
So we're going with Swan. This happens to be the band, the Pretty Things. I like this album. It's good. It's the only one I've got by them. I listened to it today. It's pretty decent. It's a cool cover as well. And it's a gatefold. I don't know what's on the gatefold. There's the Pretty Things on the inside. Good stuff. But anyway, the Swan of Swan Song Records, and Led Zeppelin's on it, Bad Company's on it. There's quite a few on it. And then Swimming, and I know he's not swimming, he's more surfacing than anything, but we'll go with the Boomtown Rats because it looks like he's kind of swimming, although he's just surfacing. He's probably dead and more floating than anything, but we'll go with the fact that he's supposed to be, or he was at some point swimming. So yeah. And there are more people swimming on the back as well, kind of, sort of. Again, not well, but they are swimming. So 7 swans are swimming from the traditional 12 Days of Christmas.
All right. Talk for 30 seconds, Joe. I'm going to pull a different record for my next one. Hold on.
Okay, sure, I can do that. What do I want to talk about? I don't know. I can just come up with something. I can probably ramble for a while.
I'm back.
Are you feeling better as we've gone along? I think it's one of those things that you kind of start to do this and you feel a little bit better as you go along.
Yeah. I've got to keep drinking water though, because my throat's getting a little dry from talking, but it's all good.
Little parched.
Okay. Joe made me rethink my pick here. To answer Chris's question, no, the band does not have a Christmas album, but on their last album, which is Islands, Robbie Robertson wrote a song called Christmas Must Be Tonight, which I think is fantastic and covered by a bunch of people. So check that out. I think that's really the only good song off that album, if my memory serves correct, because that's a pretty weak album. But that song, fantastic. So, okay. Obviously, I'm doing the traditional list, and what is it? What is a swimming?
Swans a swimming.
Swans a swimming. Okay, so I have no swans, so I'm left with swimming. And my first inclination was the only thing I have with a swimming pool on it is Oasis "Be Here Now," which is their third album. This is my original OG 1997. This is a first press, so it's worth a pretty penny. So yeah, it's got a Rolls Royce in the pool there. This was the only thing I had with a pool on it. But then when Joe reminded me of swimming, I went here. The Dustin Bentel on the Smokes, You Are an Island, and it has a mermaid on the cover.
Very nice.
And if you've seen the video, which no one has except for me, the mermaid is actually one of his band members. It is one Kendall Carson, who is in Alan Doyle's band. And I'll make this opportunity to say, Kendall's coming on my channel in January to do an interview. So I'm excited about that.
She did a spoken word portion of the latest Rheostatics record. She's on one track, by the way.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Cool. Very cool. So I was talking with her over email this morning, and looking forward to it, and has a lot of cool stories to tell, and been on a shit ton of records and played with some pretty cool people. So 7 Swans is swimming. Well, we got a mermaid that's swimming. So there we go.
Actually, she does 3 spoken word things on that Rheostatics record. So
Okay.
or three vocal appearances.
Well, maybe I'll ask her about that when we sit down to chat. So
Yeah.
okay.
I'd like to know if she was asked or forced to be the mermaid, or went, you know what, I'd like to be a mermaid on this cover. That's yeah.
So when they did the video, I forget where they filmed it. I think it was in California. They actually put a mermaid tail on her, and she had to learn how to swim with the mermaid tail. And apparently, it was a little bit of a because I remember her and I had talked about it years ago when it was done, and it was a little claustrophobic. Not the right word, but you can't kick your feet, right? Because they're together in a mermaid tail. So it was apparently somewhat of a an adventure learning to swim in the mermaid tail. So, well, yeah. Back to the top. We are on the 8th day of Christmas, whatever that is. Brian.
All right. So yeah, 8 days of the 8th day of Christmas with Bob and Doug, and it is 8 comic books. So I was thinking first about Robert Crumb because he's done some comic-like covers of various records, but I don't have any of those. So I thought I would pick a record that has like a scene that could appear in a comic book, if that makes sense. And well, originally I was going to pick 8 records to match the 8 comic books but I just went with one, and I chose the Ramones' Road to Ruin because it looks like this could have been out of a comic book. I think. I mean, it does have that feel of it. So, of course, the big track on here is I Want to Be Sedated, I guess. That might be the one that everybody knows. And there they are on the back. Canadian pressing from whenever this came out, 78. Pretty nice cover, though. I have to say that I think that really works. And that's all I've got for that one, to be honest. I was almost going to choose a Lou Reed record, a live record, but Ramones instead. But yeah, nothing else to say about that.
Cool.
Awesome.
It's a neat cover.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Jeff is saying he saw the band in '84 with the Grateful Dead at the Kingswood Theater at Wonderland. Wow, that would. I have mixed thoughts on the band post Robbie Robertson. So I did buy the Jericho Record Store Day. Without Robertson, it's not quite the band for me, but I still would have done anything to have seen them back then because it's 75% of the band. So that's pretty cool.
And I have to fully admit, when the comment first came up, I still had the Ramones in my head. So to me, he meant he saw the Ramones open up for the Grateful Dead, and I'm thinking, oh my God, that would have been a hell of a show. I don't know how that one went, but
wow.
I got it now. Then when it first popped up, it was like the Ramones and the Grateful Dead. What the hell? But yeah. So I don't know if he's still here or not, but Trevor got to see the Ramones. I would have liked to have seen that. That would have been good at any stage, even latter, I think probably would have been good. But
yeah,
alas,
never saw them myself.
No, I'm surprised there's no Ramones tributes band, and there probably is, but you don't see it like you see the AC/DC ones and the Rolling. Well, not so much the Rolling Stones, but the Kiss ones and things like that. But so probably is, but I think you could probably pull that off. Okay. I mean, you could make yourself look like Joey Ramone fairly easy if you wanted to, as long as you were tall and skinny. and had some jeans that were ripped to shit, but so. And could count to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, Daryl, your turn.
Just to say hi to Glenn tuning in from Buffalo. Those emoji, whatever those things are called.
Yes.
Cold and snowy. I can imagine Buffalo's probably getting more snow than we are. So,
Well, yeah, Buffalo always gets that that
Lake
pile
effect.
up, eh?
The lake effect. Yep.
Yep.
All right,
All
Daryl.
right.
And
Okay,
yes,
so I had a tough time with the 8th day, so I kind of this is almost a cheat. But hey, there's no rules. I can cheat if I want. So I also went with Bob and Doug's 8 comic books. And the first thing that came to mind for me was the music video for Aha's Take on Me, which is a complete comic book video. And this also has their other hit, the sun always shines on TV, which actually I prefer that song over Take on Me. There's the band there. I heard Morton Harkett from the band. I had heard that he's got like MS or something now, so he's got to kind of take it easy with his health. But yeah, I've always liked Aha, and I thought that the comic book video was the coolest thing ever. Like I was never a comic book kid when I was growing up, but I always thought that music video with the waitress getting pulled into the comic book was kind of a unique video, and I think it was ahead of its time for the 1980s. So I know it has nothing to do with the album itself, and there's no songs about comics, and there's no comic on here, but I cheated and went with the music video for this one. So hopefully that meets the requirements.
it 100% meets the requirements because the requirements are 0. So yes, you're good.
All right, Joe.
8 Maids of Milking, I believe, is up next. So I am going to go with these maids. It counts, right? I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. It counts for me. So, and I'm not sure why I picked this specific one. Well, I know why, because it was the front one, and then I don't have to worry about putting it back later. It's just one of the ones that I have out front like this. So, Iron Maiden. Hopefully, going to get a chance to see them again this year. They're not playing Western Canada as of yet, but you never know if they don't add. But 8 Maids a Milking. Unfortunately, yesterday was the anniversary, 45th anniversary. There you go, of John passing away, if you want to call it that. That's not the right way to word it, but there's the inside him and his friend Yoko, and then there's that on the back. And if you take nothing away, because I've let it be known, and we've discussed before that I cannot listen to Yoko, but she was super good for him, and she made him super happy. And that's all that matters. So there you go. You take it for what it's worth, because, despite the fact that I cannot listen to her sing. And Scott, if you're here, I know you are a Yoko Ono fan. So I'm not necessarily bashing her. I'm just saying that I'm not a fan. But they just made each other super happy. And that's what you want in the end. So there you go. And 45 years ago, yesterday, the 8th, if today's the 9th. Today's the 10th, so the 8th.
2 days ago.
Yeah.
All right. I am still doing the traditional one, but you guys mentioned the comic book one from the Bob and Doug list and said, I don't have any covers that are comic book. Well, I do, so I'll show it real quick. How's that for a comic book cover? Aerosmith's Music from Another Dimension. And even if you look on the inside, that's comic book-ish too. So there you go. The very, very comic book cover for a horrible album that just sucks. And I'm not saying it as an Aerosmith fan. I also, obviously, like Joe, 8 Maids of Milking. I hate that I had to use this band for a second time, but on Hotel California, Pretty Maids All in a Row.
Yep.
I hate that song. I'm not actually a big fan of this album, to be quite honest, but yeah, there you go. Pretty Maids All in a Row. Joe Walsh sings that one, if I'm not mistaken. Am I right, Joe?
I don't know. I'd have. Yeah, so. I'm not sure. I like that album. I mean, yeah, and I like that song too, actually. So,
I do not.
No, I should say
Len-
milk is what I was going with. I went off on a tangent. Milk, it's milk and honey. Sorry,
Yes.
go ahead.
What was this? That's the one, probably the only Lennon album I don't have. What's the single on that one?
I don't even know if there
Nobody
was.
told me.
I'm stepping out.
Okay.
And nobody told me.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
there you go.
Yeah, it's one of those I haven't seen in the wild. When I do, I'll pick it up because I love
It
John
doesn't
Lennon.
come up a lot, but it comes up every once in a while.
Yeah, Lennon's my favorite too, Chris, by far. Absolutely, the only solo Beatle I give a crap about. Okay, number ninth day of Christmas.
And now, what do you
Alas,
do?
we come to the end of the Bob and Doug because they, as you know, they fizzle after 8 tracks. They start or 8 days. They start talking about donuts. In fact, there's a track on here called Peter's Donuts. So rather than go to the traditional 12 Days of Christmas, I thought I would listen to that. What was it? Metro? Is that the song? The 11 Days from Christmas? And I have to say, I could barely make it through. I thought it was awful. I was trying to decide what is worse, that or Billy Strings, and they're tied with me right now. So, but I'm going to go back. I'm going to rewind because I found I wanted to bring it up to 12 days. So I found 4 days out of sequence going backwards from that terrible song. So, he sings, and a big bowl of sour cream. I guess I don't remember if that's day 1 or day 2. I think it's day 1. Big bowl of sour cream. So I was trying to find a song that had something to do with sour cream, and the best I could do was Sour Milk Cow Blues from Elvis Costello and the Attractions from Goodbye Cruel World from 1984. Now that isn't really sour cream, but and I'm sure that sour cream tastes a lot better than sour milk, but Sour Milk Cow Blues is my choice for that. Out of sequence, of course. And to be honest, I haven't played this record in so long. I had a hard time even remembering what that song sounded like. But it was okay. I guess this is not a record I listen to very much. The only Flame in Town was a big video hit, I suppose. But Sour Milk Cow Blues is the best I can do for that terrible song from Metro.
Yeah, it's not necessarily a classic. It comes out, it comes out once or twice on the local radio station just because he's from here, and there's a lot of Ukrainian folks obviously around and things like that. So yeah, it's definitely not a classic. The 11 Days from Christmas for sure.
Right.
I got a good kick out of it because when I was in high school, I dated a girl whose family was all Ukrainian. They celebrated both Christmases. They did the regular one and then the Ukrainian Christmas in the New Year.
Yeah.
And as soon as I heard it, I was like, I could just see her whole family listening to this song at Christmas time.
Oh yeah, it gets played. Like I got 3 copies of it at the store right now because it's one of those. If you buy a collection in Saskatchewan, it's in there just because I think he was giving them out for a while. I'm not sure, but it's one of those. It's yeah. But anyway, I digress.
Well, speaking of Metro, on the 9th day of Christmas, he was 9 months pregnant. So I'm going to go with a Canadian singer-songwriter from out west, born in Westminster, British Columbia, New Westminster, I believe, but he's a Métis singer, and he spent a lot of his time in Saskatchewan, and he does stuff up in the north and stuff, and his name is Don Freed. He's a Canadian singer-songwriter. And there's an album that he did called Pith and Pathos. And there is a song on here called Pregnant with Myself.
Wow.
So I went with that. And I just got to find it here. The lyrics are on here. And the lyrics go, don't want to go on drinking with the guys. I don't want a cigarette in my lungs and in my eyes. I got to take good care of myself to avoid a tragedy. I'm pregnant. I'm pregnant.
Yikes.
So I think this is from 1981 or 1982. More of a comedic effect, singer-songwriter, but he also has hints of James Taylor in him with some of his more mellow stuff. So I don't know if you've heard of this guy at all, Joe, but it says that he performed a lot in Saskatchewan, especially in northern Saskatchewan. And now I was reading about him. Now he does like music workshops for Indigenous youth in northern Saskatchewan, Northwest Territories, and the Yukon. So he doesn't necessarily record or perform anymore, but he's doing a lot of stuff with the youth. So I thought it was hilarious. Definitely got some lyrics on here that that might not be necessarily the most PC, I guess you would say. There's actually a lyric on here about abortion, which is just crazy. But yeah, no, a little known Canadian singer songwriter, Don Freed, with "Pregnant with Myself."
Not, not to be confused with Dancing with Myself in any way, shape, or form. I guess
Well, that's how they got pregnant.
that's how they got pregnant. Exactly.
You got to be careful.
Very nice. You do exactly. I do not know. I don't know that one. I'm not sure. I thought you might have been saying Donnie Toronto. I thought that might have been where you were going because he kind of fits that kind of bill as well. Anyway, ladies dancing, 9 ladies dancing. So, hey, ladies, little Beastie Boys from Paul's Boutique. I like the Beastie Boys a lot, actually, and it's just good stuff. And it is a trifold. Actually, it's a quadfold. So bear with me while I hold all of this up because it's got basically a whole New York street scene in it. So
Wow.
I'm not sure if this is this isn't an original. This is a reissue. So I'm not sure if they did all of this for the reissue, but yeah, Paul's Boutique from the Beastie Boys, Hey Ladies. And then the dancing part is going to come from one Mr. Warren Zevon, just inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Huge Warren fan, love this stuff, but bad luck at dancing school. And I thought at first, but there's a few of them are in the mirror, so it's not 9, but there's actually 6 ladies dancing as well on the cover. So it's bad luck at dancing school. And I'm not sure if you look at the ladies, I'm not sure if Warren's having much bad luck going on in that picture. Actually, I'd feel pretty happy. I think I'd be doing pretty good if that was, unless he struck out all 6 times maybe. But yeah, I thought there was 9, but it's that there's only 6, and then there's 3 of them in the mirror. It's just it's their reflection. So anyway, there you go, 9 ladies dancing.
Well, this is really exciting because Brian, you showed Radiohead earlier with the triangle, and I mean, Hey Ladies has got the cowbell. So
Whoa.
triangles and cowbell tonight.
Yep.
Isn't that title though, Bad Luck in Dancing School? Isn't that sort of a veiled reference to a brothel?
I think so.
Yeah.
Something along the lines of that. Yeah.
How you could have bad luck there, I don't know. But anyway.
I'm not sure. Don't know, but it's a great album. I listened to it today. There's not, you can, as far as I'm concerned, you can just say Warren Zevon, it's a great album, and you're set for the most part, as far as I'm concerned anyway. So.
All right. Obviously, 9 ladies dancing. I don't have one with 9 ladies dancing on it, but I'm going to show my favorite dancing ladies outside of, establishments that have,
Urban
support poles that hold up the ceiling.
extra reinforcement.
Spice Girls, they're known for dancing. That's what they do. And then there you go. So there's 5 of them. So I'm a big Spice Girl fan, and I'm okay with that. I've said many times it's not good music, but it's fun music. So 15-year-old Rob was 15 years old when they were at the height of their popularity, when Wannabe was a big smash hit. And it's fairly easy to understand why 15-year-old Rob may have been drawn to become a fan of the Spice Girls. I think we can probably figure out why. So
you have a favorite Beatle? Do you have a favorite Spice Girl?
I do. I had a favorite Spice Girl back in the day, and that was Emma. But now in my old age, it's Jerry.
Yeah. Mine's Mel. Mine was Mel. Mine is Mel.
Which one?
B.
Brown or Chisholm?
B.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. B.
There you go. Chris says he was fascinated by Jerry. Yeah. Miss Horner. If you're a Formula One fan, you get that. All right. What's that? We're on number 10. 10.
Yeah, except for me, it's going to be 8 because I went back to the Metro song and chose for number 8. It's All My Supper, right? That's what he sings. All My Supper.
Yeah,
so
he ate all my supper.
Ate all my. It did remind me though that when I was a kid, we referred to that meal as supper, but now I don't know anyone who calls it that. I just call it dinner. But
Dinner.
When I was a kid, it was supper. So Anyway, I chose this record, the 10cc's original soundtrack, because this first track on side 2 is the second sitting for the Last Supper, which, and I didn't know if I got this at the time when this record came out, but it's some sort of satirical take on organized religion, imagining the return of Jesus, and people are disappointed in the last 2,000 years, something like that. When I read that, it reminded me of XTC's Ballad of Peter Pumpkinhead, same kind of sentiment, if you ask me. But, this is a pretty interesting record. It's a kind of a funny, satirical song. And that's all I could come up with for All My Supper, except for, well, a couple other things occurred to me, but I decided to go with this one, even though it's not a record I listen to very often, but pretty funny song, interesting. So that's what I got for that one. Yeah.
Well done.
Well, we're gonna go from a satirical take on religion to an actual Christian album, which I don't normally listen to Christian music or anything like that. However, the lead singer, or one of the singers in this band, I have talked about multiple times because I have quite a few of his records. And we've talked about Paul Jans before, but before he was Paul Jans as a solo artist, he belonged to a band called Deliverance, which is a Canadian Christian rock band, maybe you would call them. And they did the, To Be the Glory or whatever. But of course, on any Christian record, you're going to find not Lords a Leaping, but you're going to find the Lord and all of that kind of stuff. And there's a song called Praise the Lord on here. So instead of Lords a Leaping, I went with Deliverance. And of course, right there in the middle is Paul Jans himself, who did a lot of solo work in the 80s and 90s. And then he became a theologist at King's College in Southern Ontario. And since then, I know that he had there was a tragedy in his family and stuff like that involving his son. Not sure what happened, but he has, I think, completely got out of the music industry altogether. So I just went straight up Christian music on the Lords a Leaping theme.
Works.
All right, the guy with the hat, eh? Lords of Altamont, the Lords of Leaping. It's what you think it would be. It's not biker music, but it's biker music, if there is such a thing. Not really, but there's what the dudes look like on the inside, and you can extrapolate out from there what you think the album sounds like, because it's what it looks like a little bit. But the Lords Leaping, and I chose to go with putting that back in its sleeve later is what I chose to go with. I chose to go with a little Dave Clark 5 and Look Before You Leap. So there was a few options for Leap, but I don't think I've ever shown in Dave Clark 5, and I've got a few of them. It's good stuff. It's kind of that, obviously that early 70s pop stuff, but I like the Dave Clark 5, and not necessarily a big hit was that one, but I'm not sure. Don't Let Me Down's on here. I don't know if there was anything really big on here besides that, but yeah, Look Before You Leap. So the Lords a Leaping, between the Lords of Altamont and the Dave Clark 5.
Well done.
Makes me glad all over.
I went quite literal. 10 Lords of Leaping. I couldn't find 10, but I found one. So we're going to go with that. My Sweet Lord. George Harrison, All Things Must Pass.
Lovely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Not
you
a big.
You gotta like that album, don't you? I mean,
It's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
I have it because it was my dad's.
Okay.
And when my dad passed and I went through his records, I kept it. This was the only solo Beatles record my dad had. No Lennon. Lennon's the only solo Beatle I care about, but because this was my dad's, I kept it. It's in pretty flawless shape. Obviously, it's an OG. So, yeah, I've listened to it. Do I listen to it often? No, once every couple of years, maybe at the most. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Fair. That's fair.
Just doesn't float my boat, I guess.
That's right.
Chris likes it. Okay, 11 whatevers.
Or 9 in my case, because
Well,
I went back to
Yeah.
that terrible song that I can guarantee I'll never listen to this song again. But coincidentally, the 9 is 9 months pregnant, and so we're going back a little bit here. But I picked the only song I could think of, and I don't even know it that well. That seems to be about that. Well, there's a couple others, but Joan Armatrading from 1978, "To the Limit." Some of you may know there's a track on here called "Barefoot and Pregnant" right near this Punch Out, which, and I guess I kind of knew this, but I haven't listened to this song for so long I kind of forgot about it. But it's about a woman who's kind of kept in her place really by this controlling man who keeps her getting her pregnant. And I mean, she's not living in poverty or anything, but she can't really live her own life because she's constantly, as she sings in the song, barefoot and pregnant for a long time. Now, I probably should have listened to this again, but because it's been a long time, but I was so happy to find something that had something to do with pregnancy that I just grabbed it. So I'm not going to be able to answer any questions about that song because I really don't know, but it did kind of, make me think about that song, which is all I have to say about it.
I have a few Joan albums, and I don't listen to them that often. She's unique, I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I almost got rid of all my Joan Armatrading records because I really don't listen to them. I have a bunch of them, and yeah, but some people really love her. So I mean, she has an excellent voice for sure.
Yeah.
The Walking Under Ladders album is pretty good.
Yeah,
I don't know that one. Yeah.
So I think it's a white cover. It's got the song "The Weakness in Me." I think was a single off of it. But
Okay. Yeah.
all right, what are we on? Day 11. Day 11 is the day of the pipers. So 11 pipers piping. So I went into my grandfather's collection that I have, and I've talked about my grandpa before, that he was in the Canadian Artillery. So I found this "Farewell to the Greys" Amazing Grace album. But the reason that I bring it up is on the backside. If you look closely, there is a bagpiper on the backside. So I went with some bagpipe music because that's pretty much what this is military march and bagpipe music. So that was what I could come up with. All the other ones I struggled with because obviously Bob and Doug, they stopped theirs. I mean, I could have went with their Led Zeppelin thing because I talked about Led Zeppelin, I think, by the 11th day or whatever it was that was on there. And like you said, Brian, they went into donuts and Led Zeppelin. So yeah, the closest I could come up with was bagpiping and the drums. And actually, now that I think about it, it's actually the pipes and drums of the military band. So there we go.
perfect.
Pipe music, military music.
Very good. Joe.
I thought about going with the greatest bagpipe solo ever, which is "A Long Way to the Top" by AC/DC, but I chose to
pick that.
Yeah, but I chose to go with "The Piper at the Gates of Dawn" from Pink Floyd for the 11 pipers piping. And this is old Pink Floyd for those that aren't aware, and it is weird Pink Floyd, but it is Pink Floyd. So there you go.
Is Sid on that album?
Sid's on this album. Yeah,
he is.
sure.
That's
It's and wrote almost all of it. Actually, you got to get to the fourth song on the first side before you get to one that they all wrote, and then Roger wrote one. But almost all written by Sid. So back to the early days. So the piper is the Piper at the Gates of Dawn, and the pipes is "Laying Pipe" by David Wilcox.
Yes.
I listened to this again today. Dave's awesome. I really like David Wilcox. It's just good fun. Probably if you had a couple beers or a couple scotch in you, it might be even a little bit better. I seem to remember that back in the drinking days. I've seen him in the bar a couple of times where he's up there and he's just playing, and it's just good stuff. I really like David Wilcox. If you're not familiar with, just good kind of blues guitar, really fun. And this is a latter album actually, but good stuff. Still out there playing, as far as I can tell, or as far as I know. So if you get a chance, go and see him. As long as he sounds good. I don't know. I haven't seen him for a while. I always recommend going to see people unless they don't sound good, because then that's kind of defeating the purpose of recommending someone you really like. The songs are still going to be there, like "Laying Pipe" and the tongue-in-cheek that it is still going to be there. But if he doesn't sound, not that he doesn't sound right, but if he doesn't sound good, he can sound different and still sound good. That's a different story. So
I've seen some videos of him recently. Sounds as good as he ever has.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Good. So go and see David Wilcox if you get the opportunity. And he's out there. I saw him. He was opening. It was him and Kim Mitchell somewhere playing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Wow.
Or hop on YouTube and look for the Bearcat.
The Bearcat. Downtown came uptown.
Yep.
Yeah, lots of good
Great
stuff. Laying pipe. Well, listen to laying pipe too.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, I got a show 45 here. 11 pipers piping. I went with a song that has a full bagpipe band on it, and that is Mull of Kintyre by Wings. Those that don't know, because I didn't know until about 3 minutes ago, the Mull of Kintyre is the southwesternmost tip of the Kintyre Peninsula in southwest Scotland. From here, the Antrim coast of Northern Ireland can be visible on a common clear day. A historic lighthouse, the second commissioned in all of Scotland, guides shipping in the intervening northern channel. Now you know about the Mull of Kintyre. Paul, I guess, owned the big farm there or something. So apparently, according to the old Google box, Mull of Kintyre was Wings' biggest single. It went to number one in Christmas of '77. I would have thought the biggest single would have been probably Band on the Run, but what the hell do I know? So,
was that Farm Junior's farm or no? He played.
My question, Rob, is because you don't collect 45s, why do you have a 45 of it?
Wow, that's a good question. I have a box of 45s, and there's probably maybe 75 45s in there. Many of them were liberated from my dad's record collection, and any of the ones that I kept from my dad's collection were either Beatles or Beatles related, or songs that I happened to really like that I didn't need the album for, like Kicks by Paul Revere and the Raiders. I don't need any Paul Revere and the Raiders albums, but I love that song. So I have probably maybe 75 45s. So do I ever listen to them? Maybe once a year if I'm lucky. So Mull of Kintyre by Wings. It has I can tell. Hold on, I should not be remiss in my edumacation for people here. It is the Campbelltown Pipe Band that is in that song. So
that song was fantastic live. I thought that was great when he did that one live. So
cool.
I don't know if he still does it, but it was great back in the day.
We are on the 12th day, and it's almost 10 o'clock. So this works out well. So on the last day of Christmas,
right? So I'm only at 11. This is the 12th record I've shown, but I'm 11. And sorry, the shrink wrap is on here, but the one thing I do like about that Metro song is the sort of visual thing you pick up when he says 11 pails of borscht, like not like tureens or pots of pails, like pails of borscht, which I think is pretty funny. I've had borscht. It's actually quite good. But I was trying to find something borscht related. Couldn't find anything, but I did find a soup related album. So this is King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard with Gumboot Soup. Here's the record.
Ooh, that's cool.
Pretty nice, right? But this has got to be one of the most unappetizing covers I think I have, because it's this old boot with, I guess, a dead fish and a carrot and a mostly eaten apple and music floating in this awful sea of disgustingness. So I think it's pretty gross, although a pretty fantastic record, I have to say. But just a simple soup reference to relate to the 11 pails of borscht, which is just awful. But
where that hype sticker is, it literally says, it says gumbo, like they intentionally, instead of gumboot, it says gumbo on it.
Maybe, yeah, that could be intentional or not. But there's the back if you're interested. But kind of an interesting record. I mean, this band has so many records. I don't know how anyone ever keeps up with them. I have a very small number, and I don't think I'll ever have them all because I don't think I want them all.
I was gonna ask you if you picked up the one that came out this week, or if you're just gonna get the one that comes out next week, because they are like that for sure. So
hard to say.
Yeah.
All right, Daryl.
So I went up straight up with the 12 drummers drumming, and this album here was VCLT'd to me by none other than Joe, and a little bit of Harry Belafonte, a little bit of, what is that, calypso crooner type music, I guess you would call it. And An Evening with Harry Belafonte, and there is a track on here called The Drummer and the Cook, Cockney Air. But it also has Danny Boy on it, which is often done with the drums. Yeah, I've just been fascinated by. I don't typically listen to too much Harry Belafonte, but on the occasion with Deo and stuff like that, the calypso stuff is pretty neat. And I don't I don't think you hear too much about it in the VC.
No.
So I went with Harry Belafonte and the Drummer and the Cook. So yeah, neat. And once again, Joe, thank you for the VCLT, because obviously I don't get too much of it up in this part,
you're welcome.
part of the world. So
yeah, no, I got to send you some more. I thought, if nothing else, I thought you might like that. And I know I've sent you some different stuff, but that album is in perfect shape for 19 whatever, I don't even know, 60s.
Yeah,
right?
I think it's 1957. Actually, that is a good point. Not only that, but it has the On a V sticker stamp on it. But yeah, if we're going to talk about condition, I mean that is mint for 1957.
Yeah, and the cover was in great shape and stuff. So
Yeah.
so that factored a little bit.
No,
into
I definitely don't mind getting stuff like that. I know that a lot of people are like, that's the stuff that you see in like Value Village and stuff. But I appreciate that kind of music. I actually have a singer from Peru, Ima Sumac, I think is her name. Or no, I forget her name. Anyway, same thing. Kind of like that lounge calypso type music, and I just find it unique, right? Yeah,
perfect. Yeah. No, I thought you might enjoy it, and if nothing else,
for sure.
At least once or twice, anyway. So,
and if nothing else, it reminds me of my grandfather, because he would have listened to that for sure.
Sure, there you go. Perfect. Okay, 12 drummers drumming. So let's start off with one of my favorite guys. I talked about him last week when we were talking about him. I talked about him earlier, and he's just a fantastic drum set on the front. And then there's a whole bunch of Neil playing the drums on the inside as well. So, and on the back. So that is a drummer drumming. Of course, Mr. Peart from Rush. And then my guys, Peter was not the greatest drummer in the world, but he was pretty damn good. And then gives me the opportunity to show that cool inside cover, which to me is very cool. And then he's got all his Pearl drum set. So that's another drummer drumming. And then finally,
he has a crazy riser that is on there.
Yeah,
that is a huge riser.
That was back in the day when, I mean, now it's a lot more safe. I bet that wasn't the safest thing in the world to put up and down every night and for him to ride up and down and still play, and then all the explosions and stuff going off. So hats off to Pete. They just got the Kennedy Center honors by Shithead, gave it to him. So Shithead giving Shithead, and then the other guys from Kiss. And lastly, but not leastly, I talked about this last week when we talked about the drummers, and I mentioned Buddy Rich, but this is the album that I referred to as well, him and Gene Krupa. And this is fantastic. If you're a drum fan, you probably have this. If you are a drum fan and you don't, you should find it, because it's just as it's called. It's the original drum battle. Two of the greatest jazz drummers period from back in the day. And they didn't need 8 million drums. I know I've talked about Neil playing them all. Peter didn't play them all. His was for show sometimes, and I love Peter, and he was a pretty good drummer, but these two could make like a 5-piece just wail and just sound really, really good. And this is a pretty fantastic album. So 12 drummers drumming. It's not 12, but it is some of the best and some of my favorite drummers drumming. So.
Okay. 12 drummers drum, and I'm going to bring this home with a couple picks that have more than one drummer playing on the song at the same time. So it's two drummers drumming, not one, but two. I have two examples of that in the third record I got to show that's related. And this is a Bob Dylan song, which pains me immensely, because we all know how I feel about Bob Dylan. But at the finale of The Last Waltz, Dylan and everybody else comes out to sing I Shall Be Released, which was written by Dylan for the band. And the two drummers playing drums on that song, obviously Levon Helm and Ringo Starr. So you got two drummers playing I Shall Be Released on The Last Waltz. And the Fleetwood Mac reunion album, The Dance, which was a live show, the finale at the end of, well, I guess, I don't know if it was the last song or the second last song, when they do Tusk, which has a kind of marching band feel to it. You got Mick Fleetwood playing his giant drum kit, and they are joined on stage by the USC marching band and all of their entire drum line. There might very well be 12 drummers on this particular song. I don't know. It's been ages since I saw the concert film, but Mick Fleetwood and the USC marching band. And as a little point of trivia, I just learned this as I was Googling something a few minutes ago. And any time that I have the opportunity to show this record, I'm going to fucking show it. The USC marching band is also the marching band that was the Rydell High School marching band in Grease 2.
Nice.
Which is a fantastic movie. And Michelle Pfeiffer singing Cool Rider is the sexiest piece of music ever recorded.
I guess I have to watch this now.
You don't need to watch, just Google that once. You don't need to watch the movie's horrible.
Yeah, you don't need the whole movie. You need Rob's scene. Yeah.
Goodness. All right. So there we go. We did it. The 12 Days of Christmas. And we did it in 2 hours and 1 minute. That's pretty impressive.
Wow.
That's pretty good. Exactly. That's pretty good for sure.
We will do as we always do and go around the horn, and you can talk about your channel or whatever you want to talk about. Brian, you're the guest of honor. What's going on in your world?
Well, let's see. I think I posted a video yesterday, recent finds, including something from the band, in case you haven't.
I have not watched it yet, but I will.
Let me see. But I probably do another video. Well, the week is ending, but probably I'll do another one, but I don't know on what yet. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on in my channel. How's that for an answer?
That's fair.
That's a good answer.
Daryl, what about you?
Not a whole lot going on. I posted a video last week for Craig at Spirit of Vinyl's contest where I spelled out January and I kind of put my own little spin on it. Other than that, I want to try to get a video of some cool Christmas albums that I have, like that A Very Special Christmas, and I got a Care Bears one and stuff like that. I just want to show off some of my Christmas albums. But other than that, I'm trying to continue to create questions for my Canadiana vinyl tag that I want to do in the new year. And I don't think I'm going to get too many videos out between now and New Year's. It's getting busy. My daughter will be coming home, I'd like to say late next week. I think that's when she's coming home. I got to figure that out with my wife. But other than that, nothing new. We'll be on Christmas vacay next Friday here.
Cool. Joe, what's going on at the store?
Same old kind of. Like I said, we've got the 2 hot sauce thing coming up, which doesn't make a lot of sense for a record store to be talking about, but I'm kind of excited by it. So they're coming to town in the next little while as well. So hopefully maybe I can get one of the guys to swing by the shop and do a little promo video with me or something. But other than that, it's been steady. There's been a lot of people ordering new stuff in the last little while for Christmas presents and things like that, which has been nice. Still trying to build up that new clientele, or the clientele to buy new albums, and it's getting better. Pink Floyd Wish You Were Here 50th anniversary comes out tomorrow. I got it in, but it comes out tomorrow, so that'll be good. There was quite a few people had ordered that one. I think a lot of people are fans of that album. And like I said, we've sold some Christmas albums, we've sold some new Christmas albums, some old used Christmas albums, and it's been good. So, and there is nothing going on in my channel. I save it all for this,
and we appreciate it.
Yeah.
I haven't put out a video in 4 weeks because honestly, I'm having the YouTube burnout right now. I love doing the live stream, and I'm going to be on Chris Mann's live stream on Sunday. I've just kind of burnt out of the video thing. Maybe it's a combination of life's busy, work is stressful, but I've kind of run out of things to say for now because I only have just shy of 1,000 records and I've already made 400 videos. So what else could I possibly say? I don't know. I'll probably do a Christmas one at some point before Christmas, and I do have to jump on Sam's anniversary contest. I will absolutely do that. But just not really inclined to make some videos. I just need to creatively recharge, I guess you could say. So not a lot coming up other than, as I mentioned earlier, in January sometime I get an interview with Kendall Carson, who's a well-traveled session player, I guess you could say, in Canadian music, who's got a lot of cool stories to tell. So I'm looking forward to when we do that in about a month's time. So that's it.
And we are here next week and not the week after, probably, right? I know.
I think that's probably a fair way to do. I haven't even looked at a calendar. I don't even know when Christmas is. Obviously I know it's the 25th, but
yeah, Christmas Eve is the Wednesday. So
yeah, I don't think we'll do Christmas Eve unless it's Christmas Eve at 10 o'clock and the wife's in bed and I'm bored and you guys are bored, maybe, but we're not going to schedule anything for Christmas Eve. So
yeah.
So we will be here next week to talk about something, who knows what. So
yep.
And then maybe we'll have the big New Year's Eve spectacular.
Ooh, we could do that.
Yeah, because I got nothing planned for New Year's Eve.
You need it.
Yeah.
So we'll ponder that. So
yeah.
All right. Well, to everyone that joined us tonight in the comments section, thank you very much. We love chatting with you every week. And for those that are going to watch this later, thanks for spending some time with us. Daryl and Joe and I will be back next week with somebody else to talk about something else. Brian, thank you very much for being our guest this week. Always a pleasure, my friend.
Yeah.
That's everything. We'll see everybody next week. Hope you have a good one.
Will do.
Bye.